Hello. I had some technical difficulties and I am on live 7:06. I am still a man of my word, a universal cat, partially healed and kind of saved. Welcome to Talking Thrash, y'all. I don't know what episode or live this is, but this is probably my fifth time going live. I'm going to keep doing it. Um, I am the host providing insight from my perspective, Toni Loyal. Welcome to Talking Thrash. Thank you for being patient. I had a long day, y'all, like a really long day, and it's only Tuesday. I just wanted to say thank you for tuning in. You guys watch this at your leisure. Please do so. This week, we are discussing the enjoy. I know people think of enjoy like ENJOY, like enjoy yourself, but what about the enjoy, the inside of joy? The inside of joy is where you observe acts, moments of daily effects of joy from afar because you're too busy. And sometimes we need to take a break and just have those moments of joy. My joy right now is my adult beverage of choice. None of your business. Thank you. But now that you've taken a step back and allow yourself to dive into the good parts of balance, juggle, struggle, family, awareness, operating in joy, not necessarily from the outside, what does that look like? We're going to talk about that today. I have this lightest in my eye, but that's okay. Perfectly imperfect, as Katina says. Hey, sis. Before we get on into the moment of joy and the enjoy, I want to do my favorite part of this, which is boss up, y'all. Let's boss it up. You know what? Just for that, I gotta boss it up. Sometimes community organizations provide joy for people, and the business organizations that I'm going to shout out are in Boss Up are all community organizations. Of course, you all know Boss Up is business organization services shout out. I do it every time. It is for me, where I give you a free shout out for your local, national, or global business. And I want to thank you all for joining. Boss Up this week, I have three important places. YPN, Young Parent Network, that is here in Cedar Rapids. They are a mission organization to help young parents. Thank you all for tuning in. Talking Thrash. So, YPN Network on Boss Up number one is to create a network of support through education and resources to build confidence and personal accountability for healthy and successful families, especially young families. Their vision says that it's empowering families and impacting generations, creating a brighter future for the community. Shout out to YPN. We actually had the privilege of doing some work for them, or community organization program that they did for Christmas. So we help families shop. So shout out to them. Thank you for that. Next, we have Foundation 2. Foundation 2, their mission is to provide a variety of crisis services, including 24/7 phone support, community-based programs, and more. These services are confidential services. Those include 24-hour phone text, chat in person support, year-round emergency youth sheltering for the ages of 11 to 17, workplace help and cycles of violence to prevent cycles of violence. They're also here for everyone, no matter who you are. Thank you so much for Foundation 2. I know for a fact that those people help people on the ground running, like crisis. It's them. Foundation 2. Thank you for that. Boss up. Now, last but not least, we have Willis Dady. The Willis Dady Center in Cedar Rapids. Their mission was they were founded in 1987. The Willis Dady Homeless Services empower all who are experiencing homelessness or being unhoused to build futures for themselves self-sufficiently through advocating housing and employment. So that group helps people that are homeless, help find them jobs, services, and everything they need to be housed instead of unhoused. Their vision is a community where everyone has housing stability and opportunities. You can support Willis Dady by donating to them at their website, www.willsdady.org/donate. Thank you for the boss up. Listen, I'm not going to be before you long because I really want to time myself and get into the groove of this talk and thrash. But I really hope that you've talked your thrash this week, talked it to somebody, talked it to yourself, gave a couple of boundaries. As you can see, I got my Ninja Turtle thing going. We got a whole room coming for Ninja Turtle, and I'm serious about that thing. So thank you in advance. Shout out to everybody that's joining me. I love you. Thank you. I love you and your mama. Thank you for coming on in. Let's talk some thrash, y'all. The thrash we're going to talk today has to do with joy. Why joy? Well, I just want to highlight real quick because the last few episodes that I did specifically about me had more to do with me healing or getting something out that I felt like people may not want to hear on the phone or like in person. So why not talk to YouTube? If nobody else is watching, I can always come back and watch it. But those things I needed to get through and out. And so the reason why I did those is because I wanted to get through the healing part. And my therapist asked me, she said, okay, you're doing this podcast or this you live. What happens when you heal from all the stuff you talked about? Or what happens when you've talked about all the things that you healed from? So you've talked about depression, you've talked about anxiety, you've talked about rejection, you've talked about racism. All of those things I feel like I have a really good grip of healing on, partially healed, kind of saved. Now, what's next? Flowers. What are we going to talk about? Drinks. We're going to talk about Ninja Turtles. They already got that. I don't need that. Let's talk about joy. I love joy. I love tapping into different versions of joy as a human being. Let's talk some thrash about joy. The first item I have up for joy is when joy finds you. Y'all can be busy all you want. Joy will find you. It definitely will find you in your most busiest moment. It will stop you in your tracks and show you that it is ruthless. It will find you, like it will get you right together. Talk about the joy of pets. Oh, what? We all know, Black people, we know that we don't necessarily just have pets or own pets. We raise them, okay? We raise pets as if we were raising our kids. And somehow, for the people who do have kids, the way you talk to your kids and the way you talk to your pet, they all kind of understand. I hope it's out of love and I hope it's kind, but they get it. Even when you pop off a little bit, your cat, your dog knows that you're not playing with them. I tend to think that animals respond more to our tone versus what we're actually saying, because they're so spiritually connected with us. But the joy part of that is giving insight on my fur daughter, Babette or Babs, aka Julie Garland, aka Teeny Turner, aka Swirly Sue. She is Cheryl Babs. She is came into my life at a weird time because I never liked cats. They were wild animals to me. They had claws and teeth. As far as I know, we were going to be scrapping. And my ex and I were on a Friday night just looking for some random fish for the aquarium that we had. And we saw this little cat just all dinked up. All the other cats were big and healthy, and she was little and scrawny. She literally looked like she got electrocuted. And we were like, there's something cute about this cat. And we waited to hold her, and then we finally got the paperwork done. 3 days later, we had her in our crib, our house. The problem I had is like, I didn't trust her. She had claws, she had teeth, she hissed at me. And I was like, I don't know how I feel about this wild animal being in my house with me. She don't even like me. You know what I'm saying? Like, so the joy that I found is that I got into a routine of caring for somebody that really did need me to tap into their spiritual being, to their neediness, to their wanting to be held, to their wanting to be fed, to, wanting to just be around you. Fast forward from 2019 to now, my cat is waiting for me when I get up. She is waiting for me when I get home. She always finds her way around me. She has been my refuge. In the moment that you don't trust people and you don't trust your situations or even your surroundings, somehow that animal or that pet that you have, Black folks that you're raising, becomes a sense of joy for you. There is an undescribable feeling that I have when I've had a rough day and my cat just cuddles up to me and I just cuddle her back. I can feel the vibrations. I can feel the love that she's giving me that I didn't get from humans that day. I can feel the love and the understanding that she might be giving to me that I needed earlier in that week. And I can feel that this is a living being that needs me as much as I need them. And for me, that is kind of pure joy. Just joy, the joy of knowing that the little whiny thing is going to be at the door waiting for you when you come in because I missed you. The spiritual, the emotional, the joy that you can't really understand from a pet. The good part about pets is that you don't have to send them to college, so you're saving some money. The other part is that they sometimes leave us before our kids, and we have to either hold their memory, and most times we replace them. And I think what we should tap into is focusing on the joy we have with the pet that we have at that moment. Because at this point in your life, for whatever reason, that gerbil, that dog, that cat, that parakeet, those fish, that turtle, that snake, some of y'all got rats. I don't like rats, but that rat that you have, Ben, that is joy. That is another form of living being connected to another living being. And your animals will not lie to you. They will keep it 100, 100%. I am all about the joy of animals, the joy of being a pet owner. And when my Babs leaves me, I will be sad, but I'm going to focus on the joy that I have with her right now because, yeah, they just keep it going. So thank you for that. That's my joy. Also, one day I will do a live about Babs because there's an interesting story about how I got her to myself now, and why she has so many names. So we'll get on to that in another day. Thank you for the joy question regarding animals. I hope you're having and finding joy with your animal that you have. If you don't have a pet or an animal, I would encourage you to get one, especially if you are in a good season. There's nothing like a happy dog with a happy person. Because if you're sad, they're probably going to be sad too. So thank you for that. The next point of joy we're doing, or in joy we're doing, is joyride. What's a joyride? Take you on a joyride. I don't have no music because my computer's stupid, but I'm still gonna make some joy with my. Okay, joyride is why is it important to have the right people in your life with the title friends? Explain how different friends serve different purposes. Okay, for the first part, I have learned as an adult to reuse the word friend. I've learned to not attach that to everybody because everybody doesn't know what that is. I also don't allow everybody to attach me as a friend. They be like, "This is my friend Tony." Yeah, no, we are associates. I don't know if I have the capacity to be the friend that I should be for you, and I'm gonna be a 100% about that. I don't know sometimes if I have the energy or the room to be the friend that I know I can be or that I should be for you at this time. It doesn't mean that I don't love you and we can't hang out and vibe. It just means that I might serve a different purpose, which brings me to the next question. Explain the difference of how explain how certain friends serve different purposes. Well, there is a point in my life where none of my friends knew each other. Like they were all my friends. And growing up, I had a lot of older friends. So I was 18, my friends was 30, and they didn't know each other. It's because I had this kind of friend for that. I had big sis friends, I had big bro friends, I had older gay uncle kind of friends, I had high school friends, and all of them at some point really did exemplify the word friend and what that means. Recently, a young lady that I met not too long ago, less than a year ago, who looks like me, who's a part of local organizations like me, I had a moment, a hard moment, like a mental health moment. And she said, "Can I call you?" And I said, "Yeah." And she literally got me from, borderline depression moment to "it's going to be all right, friend." I don't know her birthday. I don't know her maiden name. I know that the friend that she needed to be for me at that moment, she came through. And for that, I can't take away the title friend. If I never see her again, if I never talk to her again, she's still going to be my friend. She's still going to be the friend that was there for me in that moment. That was a friend that served a purpose. Your happy hour friend may not be able to get you off the ground logically. They might be able to do it with some substance or whatever, or maybe with some trash talk, but we don't talk trash here. We talk thrash. Let's be clear. But that friend may not be able to serve the purpose you need them for at that moment. You ever had a friend call and you're just going through a certain thing and you just know they're not the one? You be like, "Girl, let me call you back. Bro, let me call you right back. I got to get through this thing that I'm doing." And sometimes you can't do that. It's no shade to you because your purpose is not right now. You know what I'm saying? It's not right now. It's I need this person to help me through this situation. Maybe I just need to be my own friend. Maybe I just need to go in a corner somewhere and think about the person I am as a friend to other people, how I can be that person to me. I've said before, the love that God has for me is the love I should have for myself. I got it from Kiki Palmer when she did an interview. And I strongly believe that. Please don't sue me for wording. We all trying to get healed. But sometimes we have to take a step back and be our own friend and say, the love that, my higher power has for me, am I being that friend to myself? Am I being that person I need to be for myself? Am I incorporating and ushering in the friends that I need for myself? You know, and so the importance of having friends that serve different purpose is to keep us afloat, is to keep us going, is to keep us learning, ultimately keep us alive, and ultimately keep us balanced. I can't do the happy hour friend every week. I can't even do the intellectual friend every week. And sometimes I am the intellectual friend. So you saying you can't do yourself? You saying you can't do you? I'm not saying that. I'm saying the friend that I need for the purpose and the situation that I'm going through, that's who I need to pull up. I'm saying every friend can't be all of the friends. I'm saying my real friends at this moment in my life know exactly who they are. And if you got a question, you already know the answer. I'm saying there are different versions of people that have different versions of me that have helped me stay afloat, stay positive, stay alive, and most important, stay balanced. Because without balance, you just off. I don't want to ride a train that's not balanced. I don't want to drive a car with tires that aren't balanced. Thank you for that. Remember, your friends that are in your life serve a purpose. Let them. That's all I'm saying. Tell yourself yes, and tell those true friends yes as well. Y'all thought I was going to say tell them no. In this situation, tell them yes, or maybe whatever works. Thank you for that joyride. Let me know what y'all think about the different versions of friends and how they play a purpose in your life. My apologies for my words tonight. It's been a long day. I worked a little late today helping some people get through some stuff. So please forgive me. All right, the last part of this, enjoy inside of the joy, because I want to be there. I want to be inside of the joy, is the joy that stays. Wow. What do you mean joy that stays? Like joy come and go? Like, do I got to download the Joy app? There might be a Joy app, but That's not what I'm talking about. This question says, kindly explain joyous differences of juggling and balancing. It's crazy how I was just talking about balancing with your friends. They keep you balanced. And so, how do we stay balanced? By not juggling, or do we juggle until we get a balance? Juggling keeps us in autopilot. Juggling keeps us catching and throwing up things and catching, and we never get a moment to just look at what's where we're throwing in and catching. We don't get a moment to be like, oh, this is really cool. Joy moment. We're like, yep, did that. Check box, got it done. Fed the kids. Husband good. Did my job at work. Worked out. Gas in my car. Paid some bills. And then it's all over. So that's juggling. I don't like the way life makes us juggle. Sometimes I just want to take a break and tell everybody no and tell myself yes and do a balance. Because balancing allows you to tap into the moments of joy that you didn't get to do when you were juggling. This joy says, I got to get you to where you need to be. Balanced joy says, I am here to stay. Because once you balance yourself in some good joy, you don't want to lose that feeling. It's a feeling of healing, serenity, maybe nirvana. It's a feeling of peace. You know, big right now, people are saying, don't disturb my peace. And I have to protect my peace. But a lot of us have not tapped into the balanced joy so that we know what that is. A lot of us don't know what our peace is yet. We just know pieces of what we want. We don't necessarily know the PAC, the piece that allows us balanced joy. We don't know what that is yet because we're still juggling. We're juggling thoughts in our brain. We're juggling past situations. We're juggling anxiety that says I'm thinking more about what could happen versus what actually is happening. We're juggling the idea that some friends have let us down, people have let us down, we've let ourselves down, and we're not balanced in what has happened and how we can stay afloat. Because balancing keeps you on track. And I want us to think about tapping into the joy that stays. Because once you get me balanced, listen, once you get me balanced in peace and happiness and joy, I am not going to be unbalanced. Even if you try to take me off my rock, I'm going to still know how to get myself balanced. And I'm going to just juggle you on over to the right. I'm going to just juggle you that way because to know real balanced peace is the epitome of peace. You know, I got to protect my peace. But do you know what your peace is? Do you know how to tap into triggers so that you can come out of those triggers without reacting and then respond with some peace for yourself and the other party? My friend said I'm preaching. I'm not preaching. I'm just talking. I'm talking thrash. I did say I won't be before y'all long. I'm trying to keep it at 30 minutes. So remember, the joy that finds you may be in that dog you haven't adopted yet. The joy ride may be the long or short conversation with a friend that you needed to have right then and there. And the joy that stays comes from being balanced in your peace and being balanced in knowing that there is joy there. Thank you. Thank you so much for talking thrash with me. Shout out to the boss ups real quick. Thank you again. Willis Dady, YPN, Young Parents Network, and Foundation 2. These are all great services in this community of Cedar Rapids, Iowa, that helps people with all of these things, with joy, finding it, keeping it, resting in it, learning from it, growing from it, all of that. Thank you so much for that. Listen, who am I? I'm a man of my word, okay? I am a universal cat. I am partially healed, kind of saved. I love you and your mama. And thank you for tuning in to Talking Thrash. All right, remember to follow me on Instagram, Loyal Tony 16, and on Facebook, Tony Latte. If you want me to shout out your business or service or organization, hit me up on one of those and let's get it cracking. I love doing these because at the end of the day, if it's only 2 people watching, I'm gonna watch it at some point tomorrow when I get off work. And guess what? It's gonna be a joyous time because I get to talk thrash to myself and get some joy from it. All right, thank you all. Have a good Tuesday. Go get some Taco Bell. Okay. Run for the border. Thank you for talking thrash. I love you all so much. I love you and your mother. Right now, I'm at almost 27 minutes, so that's a wrap. All right. Talk some more thrash with some people you love. Talk that joy, the joy that stays when joy finds you, and also get on a joy ride. All right, guys. I'll see you next time. Let me know what you think. Also, I have to say like and subscribe because we're in those times. Talking Thrash, Toni Loyal.